Good morning from Hinton in the Hedges airfield near Banbury, where I have just arrived for a day trying a new form of flying to me, paramotoring. So I've always instinctively avoided forms of flying that involve using my legs as the undercarriage. So I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive. I've already had to complete quite a comprehensive theory course, or part thereof, which has given me the basics. I'm really impressed with how everything's run so far. So yeah, let's go and see how we get on. First on the agenda for the day was an introductory session in the classroom where an instructor took us through the basics of paramotoring and the important safety elements to think about when on the airfield operating paramotors. So just having a quick break from the introductory theory session. The sun has come out, which is nice. And this is honestly the busiest airfield I think I've ever been to. You can see in the background some of the wings that are there just getting started. But those of us who are on the chase today are just in the classroom for a bit. Look how many people there are. Theory session complete, it was out onto the airfield to start learning how to handle the wing. Instructor Seb showed us how to inflate the wing by pulling on the A-line, which is the set of strings attached to the leading edge. And then we put our harnesses on and helmets and we were strapped to a wing ourselves. It was actually quite a lot harder than it looks to keep the wing airborne. Every little breath of wind changed the dynamics of it. I had to pull the wing into the air using the A-lines and then run backwards trying to keep it airborne. I soon discovered that moving underneath the wing was the secret. As you can see, I'm having to make small adjustments using the brakes. But in fact it was quite counterintuitive because you needed to use the opposite side to the side you thought you needed. And really it was more about staying underneath the wing than pulling on the brakes. Next I was strapped in a different way, facing forwards, and had to try to launch the wing by running forwards as you would on takeoff. As you can see, I'm having to work quite hard to get this thing moving because it's going into wind and the wing is inflating. The leading edge is actually open, so it fills with air. So you've actually got quite a lot of force required to get moving. And this sport definitely requires some physical fitness. By the end of the morning, I think I was getting quite good at it. So we're about late morning here at Hinton. I have done some ground handling with the wings, which other people are doing right now. I've done some reverse ones, I've done some forward ones, and I think I'm just about getting the hang of how it all works. It's quite difficult, it's quite physically demanding, I have to do a lot of running, which is quite difficult when you've got this thing that's kind of stopping you because you're going into wind, and it does require a bit of physical fitness to do this for sure. And all that noise is the parachute jump plane right there behind me. Something I'm learning about paramotoring is that there's a lot of hanging around. Basically we stopped at 1 o'clock at Hinton, and basically that was because it just got very thermic and we don't want too many thermals when we're in paramotors apparently. So we went to the pub and we had a nice pub lunch, and then we have flown over in this beautiful DR400 to Bicester, which is our new location for the evening. This is where we're going to be doing some actual paramotoring. So this morning it was all ground handling that we were learning, and now I'm actually with a more advanced group this evening. These guys have already done a week's training or something, and so they're doing their solos. So what we're hoping is that the wind will die down enough that I can go up and do a tandem flight so that I can actually get my feet off the ground rather than it just all being ground-based. So it should be interesting to watch. 19-year-old instructor Bruce went up for a test flight to test the conditions and wowed us with some of his incredible manoeuvring. Bruce would be the person I'd be flying with, and I was really hoping he wasn't going to do that while I was on board. The sun was pretty much almost set by the time it was my turn to fly, and I was strapped in using this metal pole attached to Bruce, and as you can see there's a lot of force required, a lot of running required on takeoff, I have to say I was feeling a bit nervous, but once we were airborne, it was just wonderful. The sky was still quite warm, wonderful sunset views, and there was just nothing between my feet and the ground. It was a very surreal sensation, but really rather a wonderful way to see Bicester Airfield, which in fact was where I first started learning to fly. We came round for a low pass so that we could wave to everybody and get some good pictures, and then came the bit that I've been dreading, the landing. This was where my fear of using my legs as an undercarriage came in, but actually, as you can see, Bruce touched us down so smoothly it was absolutely fine, although I then seemed to collapse onto the ground for some reason. I thoroughly enjoyed my day with Sky School, and I'd like to thank Alex, Ricardo, Zeb, Bruce and all the rest of the team for looking after me so well. If you'd like to book your flight, visit skyschooluk.com and let me know how you get on.